Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm just going to be updating you guys on what's been going on with the Mustang, what progress that I've made and what issues that I've run into. But to begin this video, I am going to be showing you guys a piece of equipment that I bought for my YouTube channel to record better videos, and that is, I'm going to try to pronounce the name, Lavalier or Lavalier mic. I just call it a lav mic. Let me show you guys what it is. Got it in this small pouch, doing this with one hand, so excuse the camera work. It's a little mic that you can plug into a phone. I'm going to use this S7 as my recording device. Comes with two more air muffs, or not air muffs, wind boots or wind socks or whatever. A conversion piece to hook up to a computer, but we're not going to be using that. So I'm going to get this all set up and then we'll start again. We'll start the video and see the difference in audio quality. So let's go. Okay, so now we have the mic set up and I have it right here on my shirt. Kind of pulls it down a bit, but if it's for better audio quality, then it's going to be a sacrifice that we're going to make. I'll just walk you guys around the car and tell you what all I've done and see what is left to be done. Okay, let's start under the hood. We first got this power steering line hooked up, but it's actually for a 4.6 and it doesn't go all the way down into a 5.0's power steering line, so I'm gonna have to source one of those. This is my Jimmy rigged spring for the throttle body to close it back, because the spring here kept breaking at a metal point, so I had to tape it to this tie strap that's on the distributor. But it works just fine. We have two water leaks also, one right here under this elbow and then one in the back of the motor. What else? We got the alternator somewhat wired up. It works though. We changed the oil filter. We put fresh oil in the motor. Believe it or not, I know you guys are gonna laugh, but the spark plugs that are in this Mustang while it's running is the spark plugs that sat in it for about 6-7 years in the Jeep that it was in. In the Ford Explorer, these are the exact same spark plugs. So I wanted to see if it would work, so I guess it did. But we're so close to being done with this build. We got the drive shaft in. The stock drive shaft for a 3.8 T5 Mustang, that's this body shape. The 3.8 drive shaft is the one that we use. It comes with the same T5 as a 5.0, and we had to shorten it 1 inch for it to fit in this car. I'm not sure why. I don't know if that had anything to do with the mounts that we use. We end up using solid mounts, solid motor mounts. Let me see if I can get you guys a shot of that. And basically it's just going to help the car to stay rigid and not move around a lot when beating on it. It didn't give me, I thought it was going to shake you to death when you started the car and you ran it, but it doesn't shake at all. All right, I guess the only thing left for me to show you guys is the car actually running. So I'll get in the seat now and show you guys how it works. Okay, so I don't think it's going to start one shot, but hopefully it does. But before we get into starting it, just remember that we had another issue. The clutch cable and the clutch fork from a 4.6 is what we used, and it doesn't give you the proper distance for engaging and disengaging the clutch. So what I'm going to do is most likely I'm going to order the proper clutch cable and order a firewall adjuster so that we can adjust the tension of the clutch and the working area of the clutch. Before we do that though, I'm going to get some washers and try to shim the end of the cable down by the box so that we get the proper tension on it so that it can be used in the meantime. But this is the process of starting the Mustang. You take the key, turn it on. Oh, just lock the wheel. All right, so keys on, switches, fuel, spark, Make sure we're in neutral. And there you go. Up. She's behaving badly. Let me give her a few pumps of fuel at the carburetor. Alright. And now she doesn't want to start. So let me give her a few pumps again. I didn't get to tune this carburetor properly yet just because we had those water leaks, so I couldn't let it warm up to set even the timing. We haven't set the timing yet with the timing light. We just have it at top dead center and we turn the distributor a little advanced to get it to start. So nothing is tuned right now. The timing isn't on and the fuel isn't right because we didn't get to set the timing when it was warm. So we're gonna have to fix that water leak before we can even set this timing. But there you go, shut right back off. Let's see if I give her a few pumps at the carb again. She idles though. Once you get it to start, she does idle. She idles at about 1,000 RPM. Let's see if I can get her to start now. Yeah, this tune is way off. It doesn't want to, I guess, crank up right now. Almost. Let me give it a few more. All right, guys. Sorry about that. My camera ran out of storage. I tend not to delete anything off of it, so I have like years old footage on it. Just deleted some couple of things. And we're gonna continue with the video now. We were trying to get the Mustang started. I was giving it a few pumps of fuel. Turn the key on. That should be enough. Turn the fuel on. Spark. And she shuts off. Give it a few more pumps. Yeah, let me just give it a few more pumps. Hopefully it gets started this time. Nope. And she started. And she died. I think, just like I said, this just isn't tuned right. There we go. Yeah, she just isn't tuned right. Hopefully we get to set that timing with a timing light soon, and then we'll be able to take it on runs and warm it up. Fix that coolant leak so that we can let the car get warm, set the timing, and then set the carburetor to the air to fuel mixture that we want. Yeah, she has to be way too lean right now. When I do get her started and she catches that idle, she has no problem holding it. So it's most likely an issue where it's either set too lean or too rich at cold starting. But once it gets a little bit of temperature, it holds that idle properly. It should hold that idle now. Look at that wheel shake. right now we don't have any exhaust on it. That's just open headers. Like I said, when we get to working on it again, I'm gonna fix the clutch cable, fix that coolant leak, and hopefully put the exhaust on so that it comes out the back. The exhaust is just going to be a straight pipe to the mufflers, which I believe are factory mufflers. So it won't be anything special, but it'll be more than enough for what we're doing. We don't really have a high output carburetor, but like I said, she does idle, she does start up, but there is much needed tuning left to be done to it. And the clutch cable needs to be replaced with an adjustable one, and I think that's about it. But the alternator works, so I'll take the battery off to show you. Oh, and now I'm embarrassed. I guess the alternator doesn't work, but let me check on that. It might be just a wiring that we did yesterday. It's not really hooked up. I don't want to say it isn't, but it isn't really hooked up. I just pushed a wire that's this is a wire that I just pushed down in this connector that runs to the same wire that adds power to the distributor. And what I did is I pushed it down in there so that it makes contact with the 3 terminals that are down there. But now that I am here, I'm looking at that it's not touching. So let me use my keys and try to push them back on and see if I can show you guys that that this alternator is working. I'll just probably strip that because I have this connector down at the junkyard where we got this motor from. So I'll just probably take that connector and splice into those 3 wires the same hot, and we should be good to go. But let's see if it works this time. Just gonna start it up. Yep, and it works. So there you go, now you know the alternator works. I just have to get that connector for it. Really guys, it's been a long, I would say, build or journey to get this done, but the engine is in, the gearbox is in. Obviously it's a junkyard motor with a junkyard intake manifold and a freaking junkyard carburetor, so it's not gonna run the best initially. Like I said, we still have to tune that distributor. We have to tune the carburetor as well. So it's gonna be a while before we get it tuned properly, but I believe we're gonna get there. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.